back to RoyalBluFX. In today's video, we're going to talk about how to adapt to structure. So without any further ado, let's begin. The reason why I wanted to bring up the subject is because a lot of you out there who are obviously taught how to trade structure, when you identify structure, sometimes you get stuck in staying in one specific, point of structure. Like let's say when price is breaking structure, right? You wait for price to retrace to that area of supply or demand zone, and therefore price doesn't reach that level sometimes, and then price then extends again. And so sometimes we'll be stuck waiting for price to get there, but it doesn't, and it leaves us disappointed and or whatever. So that's why I think it's very important to show you this video in terms of how to adapt to structure and how to not just depend on that current low or current high or that current supply zone or current demand zone. All right, structure. So how to adapt to structure. Okay, before I go any further, I really want to stress out here that whenever we're trading, we're always looking at structure first. Structure is king above all, right? This kind of follows another video that I did previously. If you want to go check it out, it's over here with the banner. Go ahead and check it out. It really just talks about identifying structure. All right, but in this case, in this video, we're just really going to be breaking down how to adapt to structure. Okay, like I said in a little previously, a few minutes ago, or a couple minutes ago, or whatever, is that whenever we're looking to trade structure, we're always depending on that current demand zone or that current supply zone to be tapped, right? Or waiting for price to retrace to those zones. And sometimes it can leave us obviously, depressed and or, angry that price didn't reach that area of supply or demand zone. So then we start chasing the market, potentially chasing structure, right? But I'm going to show you in this video how to do it correctly. So generally speaking, when price is pushing down like this, right, and then price is doing this, right, you can see how price is making all this huge break of structure, right, like this, and it's not really mitigating, right? One of the things we teach here at RoyalBluFX is that when price is breaking like this, price broke structure from this low right over here, right? What we're generally thinking of is we want prices to come back and retrace back to the deep, a deep retracement, and then wait for that area of demand to be tapped and then push prices up like this, right? But in not rare cases, in a lot of other cases, prices break structure like this and don't even come back to your demand zone like this, and then continue pushing up like this, right? You've probably seen this happen a lot of the times when you're trading, right? But I'm going to show you how to adapt to this structure. And this is what I'm speaking on higher time frames. Whenever you're looking at the higher time frame structure, okay? All right, so adapting to structure can be good and can be bad. It depends on how you look at the market, which I'll explain in this video. So let's take a instance in this case when prices are obviously high. In this case, where price is going up, right? We want to use our 50% equilibrium line right here, right? You can see how we've gone from the low from the high here, okay? Our expectation as traders is to always wait and anticipate for prices to retrace back like this somewhere below the 50% equilibrium line, right? Whether it be this area of demand or anything below here, right? Which is that full retracement, okay? But in other cases, when I'm talking about in terms of adapting to structure, I'm also talking about, adapting to the continuation of structure, right? So there's two things here, okay, we're going to be talking about. It's adapting to the continuation of structure and also of that current major structure per se, okay? And also adapting to structure on higher time frame. So if you're looking at, I'm going to make it a little easier for you guys over here just to understand what I'm talking about. So let's just picture this diagram here is the 4 hour, okay? And then, you can see order flow is pushing bearish here. And let's just say that price is fully retraced here, like this, okay, and have tapped the supply zone like this, and then price went bearish, right? So let's just say this happened, right? And this is the 4 hour time frame. So on the 4 hour time frame, this looks good for us, right? We know that when price breaks structure, we're going to anticipate for price to get back, tap, and then we go on the lower time frames to look for the same formation essentially, and we're waiting for the chalk right over here to take advantage of that sell-off, this extension here, right? So once that happens, you know, and then price then reverses like this, all right, and then breaks this high over here, how can we adapt to structure? Okay, we see that price is pushing bullish. It hasn't tapped our last down move here, or last down candle, right? You can see that this was our high here. All right, and when prices are pushing bullish, we are anticipating for price to pull back here to tap and go, right? But what if price doesn't do this, right? Well, essentially, what I'm going to be talking about is how you're going to be adapting to these lows and these highs, okay? So once we see these lows and these highs like this, right, we want to adapt to structure. Now, I want you to take a keen notice over here on what I'm talking about, okay? If prices are this, excuse me, just push this here. If prices are this high over here, and when I'm saying adapt to structure, you can see that there's an extreme low and an extreme high, right? And price hasn't tapped that low, this extreme down here, right? But then prices start doing this, right? Something like this. Just right above our 50% equilibrium, right? And prices are doing this, right? Now, you can tell yourself, right, in hindsight, you can tell yourself that we noticed that this low here hasn't been tapped. The extreme low hasn't been tapped, right? But we can now adapt to the structure pushing bullish, because every time there's a break of structure like this, we need to think, okay, we have to wait for price to get low for that buy, okay? This low here, this low, has not pushed bearish, right? It broke another high. So what do? We adapt to that new low here and to this new high, right? So now essentially what we're looking for is for the buy to look for entries here to target this high, or maybe even something higher, right? But in this case, you can see in hindsight that this swing here is extremely bullish. And when it has reached its peak from this low to this high here, right, we are essentially seeing that price is overextended, right? And when price is overextended, we always need to tell ourselves that, hey, you know, prices in our premium zone here, or premium level, right? We need to wait for prices to retrace now fully into our discount area, right? And if that hasn't happened, then we are running ourselves in danger that prices can do whatever from at this high, right? So if I put my equilibrium, tool like this, like the 50% equilibrium tool like this, you can see that if we're looking to now trade this break of structure, if we're looking to trade this break of structure from here to here, right? Prices may not perform as well over here at the high area, at this premium level. And it could retrace and then underperform and then push bearish like this, going after our original order block somewhere down here, right, at this area of demand down here, okay? And then can obviously push from here, pushing bullish like this. So, and then we would know that obviously in hindsight. So that's what I'm always saying is that, you know, adapting to structure can be good and can be bad depending on how you look at it, okay? And that's what I'm going to show you on a live chart example right now. All right, so here we are on a live chart example. Let's go break it down, and I'm going to show you guys how you can adapt to structure. All right, so let's just go anywhere. Let's just cut the market there. All right, let's just drop down probably to what, the 30-minute maybe even the 15-minute. Okay, so first things first, you can just identify your major highs and your major lows, right? You can see there's your major high, there's your major low. Here, price broke substructure, right? Now, what I want you to see over here is that price is bearish currently, right? You can see that the order flow is pushing bearish like this. All right, so what we have to think is we need to be trading with the market structure. We need to be trading with the order of the flows, the flow of the orders, essentially. Okay, so let's look over here. In this area, you can see that price is still bearish right there. There's a break of structure. Okay, right there. Something like like right there actually. Okay. And then you can see that price is also broken here, right? Everything's bearish here. And you can see that price didn't come back and mitigate this last order block up here. Okay. So what we're going to do is, since price has been this low, right, we're going to start adapting to structure. You can see here that this high here was just mitigated by this high, okay? And this is where we can look to sell. And if price doesn't work out there, obviously, we would understand why it didn't sell off from here, okay? We would understand that we're way too low in price here and price needs to be very high. We need to be selling price at a very premium level, right? So if I use my 50% equilibrium, notice from that high to this low, like this, notice how this price here, at the very lowest of the price didn't retrace all the way up, right? And it just continued bearish, right? We can also see that we are also at a discount area here where price could eventually push bullish from here, pushing up like this, right? And then to go and mitigate our area of supply zone, right? But that's not what price did, right? So let's continue. I'm going to show you how to keep adapting to structure. So you would have waited and expected for price to, you know, from this high here, if this high created, right, and then respected this high here, okay, you would have waited for price to come and mitigate this high, but it didn't do that, right? Instead, push bearish. We identified where our last high was and where our last low is, and then we identified that break of structure, price retraced, and then extended bearish, right? So let's continue. All right, there's another break of structure. I'm gonna play this out really quick so you guys can see how to identify, how to adapt to structure, right? So we would expect for this high over here, okay, for this high here to be respected, if not, and then continue bearish, right? And we'll understand why price isn't going bearish if price breaks out of there, right? Let's watch. Let's speed it up, actually. Okay, there we go. Oops, excuse me, it's going a little fast there. Okay, so you can see that price obviously went bearish here. It didn't really respect this high here, which is totally fine, obviously, because you can see the extreme high is here. There's your low, right? And then price just went bearish here. So we can understand that there's a high, there's a low, there's a high, there's a low, right? And the next high has to respect this high here and push bearish. All right, let's continue again. Okay, there's another break of structure, right? Let's adapt to structure. Let's adapt to this high and this low and this high and this low, okay? This was the high that was responsible for this break of structure. If price doesn't respect it, then, you know, price is going to be going to this high here and then pushing bearish. Watch this. All right, you can see the price is still playing around. It's very bad right now. We understand why, okay? I'm not saying this is going to be perfect. This is why in the sense that sometimes adapting to structure is bad, but this is why you need to go down on lower time frames to actually see if prices here will work out, right? If you get that chalk that we're looking for. If not, I mean, you can see here prices broke that high, right? And now prices retrace and push bullish. We understand why, only because if you look at this major structure, there's a break, here's that high now. We're waiting for price to get up here, right? And then look for the sell. If prices also broke here, since price didn't work out here, because there was a break of structure here, we know the intention why price needed to go up, because we're in the discount area here. Okay, we're in the low of the discount. Prices need to be above the premium, and it was generally above the premium just by a hair. But this is the deep retracement. This is the full retracement here, where we're looking for price to essentially respect and push bearish here. Okay, so let's play it here. There we go. Right. So now you see how structure is working out. Okay, we still adapted, even though that this low here was, even though that this high here wasn't respected, all right, because you can see that there's a high, there's a low, there's a high, there's a low. Prices came up, broke above that high, went right back up for the extreme high and pushed bearish. We were still bearish, and we're still looking for sells at the supply zone here. So, okay, let's continue adapting. There's a break of structure. Okay, still this high here hasn't come up. The market hasn't come up to this high, so we can just wait for prices to keep going bullish if they have to. In this case, all right. Let's see. Let's look down here. Okay, see there's a high, there's a low, there's a high, there's a low. Let's just picture that we're on the 15 minute is our 4-hour time frame. This is our higher time frame. Okay. There's a high here and there's a low, right? We would adapt and drop down to lower time frame and then look for prices to sell off if prices need be, right? Like that, okay? You can see that prices did sell off right off of this supply zone here, and look at that, right? Our natural reaction would be hey, we need to wait for prices to come back here now, right? Which is not wrong at all. It's not wrong at all, right? This is our extreme pullback. Okay, prices aren't always going to break and mitigate, break and mitigate, break and mitigate like this, right? They're not going to always do that because prices can do whatever. The markets and the banks can do whatever they want, right? Our job as traders is just to find structure, identify structure, and adapt to structure, whatever structure is, right? Structure to us is a solid break of a low or a high with a body candle close or a body candle close above a low, a body candle close above a high, and then we would look for an opportunity to sell or buy, right? So in this case, in this case, you can see there's a body break here. Prices were at this high. Prices took out liquidity, as you can see here, and went low. Right? Let's adapt more to structure. Let's keep going. I want to show you guys what's happening, okay? So here we go. You can see there's another break of structure. It wasn't really a body break, but in any case, you can see internally here, you can see there's a high, there's a low, there's another high, there's a low. What do you expect here? We're expecting a sell to happen, right? There we go, right? See that? So let's continue again. There's another break of structure. Where are we expecting a sell? Right here. Okay? Right there. That's our last high. Oh, excuse me, I went a little too fast. You can see here there's a high, another break of structure. We're adapting to this break now, and we're looking to sell off, right? All in the midst of all this. Watch this. I'm going to show you. Watch this. Watch what's happening. If we zoom out, notice how we're still very low in this leg. Very low. We're still selling in the premium area, in the discount area, right? If I zoom out, you can see that this major structure from this high to this low, all the market is down here in premium, and we're still selling, right? Let's just picture again. I'm saying, picture this on the 4-hour time frame, okay? And we're looking at these highs and these lows here. You can see we're in the premium zone, and in the discount zone. I'm losing my train of thought here. We're in the discount zone here, okay? And then prices very low. So at any time, we know in hindsight, at any time, price could just boom, take us out like this and start pushing bullish like this. But we know now in hindsight that price is going to our extreme high and that we're looking for the sell-off like that, okay? That this is what price can do, okay? So if prices do that, don't go and say, oh, well, RoyalBluFX said to, go and continue selling on the, premium and keep selling on the discount and buying on the premium. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying be mindful of how, where you are in the market, right? With your extreme lows and your extreme highs, right? Your extreme high here, extreme low, right? Know where you are in price. Are you in the premium or in the discount, right? This is the discount, this is the premium, right? And then tell yourself, okay, I'm seeing structure. What part of structure am I in right now, right? Am I in the premium zone? Am I in the discount zone or am I in the premium zone? Okay, and you can obviously see that we are very low in price. So let's continue. I want to show you guys how price is working again. We have another break of structure. Okay, we know that this is our area, that's our next high right there, right? But we also see that there's another high that was made in here. Okay, let's just see which one works out and you'll see. Okay, so we see that this high here was disrespected. We also see that there was another high that was created here that actually gave us a chalk. Okay, and now we can see that structure broke a new high here. Now we can look for buys at this low. Okay, and then if prices tap the supply first, let me make this a little more clear for you guys over here because prices are not at the supply zone right there. Okay, so we have two things that we're looking at. We can either look for a supply, essentially, right? If for the markets, if they reach the supply zone, we'll look for the sell. We can also look for a buy to the supply zone. Okay, watch this. Okay, prices didn't do anything, and I think I made a mistake. Obviously, on the higher time frame, there's your low, there's your high. So this would have been your area where prices came and tapped to go off. So it actually tapped your supply zone and it took off. All right, we understood this because that was our high and there was your break of structure. You could wait for prices to come here for the sell-off. You could also, the way I've explained it, when there was a break of structure here, you can see that there is an opportunity for buys here as well to push prices to the supply zone. Okay, let's continue here. All right, there's another break of structure. Okay, we see that we have a high and a low here. There's also another high and another low. And let me just delete these here to make it a little more cleaner here. All right, so we got two supply zones that we're going to be targeting. Okay, now again, we're adapting the structure. Okay, there's nothing new. Look at that. See, prices came up there and prices went down low, right? If we were, let's say again, we're in the 4-hour time frame. If we went down to the 50-minute, 1 minute, whatever, you could look for the sells easily in here for that sell-off. Now, I'm not teaching you how to look for entries and how to go in your lower time frames. I'm just showing you how to adapt to structure alone. Okay, we can keep, excuse me, we can keep going, right? So we have another high here, and we have another break of structure. All right, we have another break from this high to this low right over here. All right, we're going to look for sells. If prices don't come up to this high yet, we're going to adapt to this new high over here. Okay, prices didn't do that. Prices went bearish again. We have another break of structure. Therefore, we have another high. So we're going to still look for sells right over here. Okay, there you go. Notice how prices went down here, right? We would have hit a smash TP right there. All right, we have this low being respected, although it is broken by a wick. That is not our it's not a clean break of structure. So we'll be patient here and waiting to see what happens. Okay, at the same time, we have a high here. Okay, so we would adapt to that and see what is happening between this low and this high here. Okay, you can see internally that there's a low, there's a high, there's a low. Now we're going to look to adapt to this new break of structure. There is a break of structure right here. We're going to look for that buy in here. If prices get there. Okay, all right. Well, in this case, let me just explain. The reason why prices sold off here is because obviously you're here at this extreme high. Prices tapped that and went bearish, right? Now, like I mentioned, at RoyalBluFX, this is a type 2 break of structure. It's not a type 1 for us. A type 1, we need a solid body close. Of course, you can wait for a new break of structure from the low here or from the high for prices to show you where prices are potentially going. We have that new break of structure, okay? Here you can see a high and a low and a high and a low here. Here's our other high. Okay, we know that our extreme is here and that low is here. So we can expect for prices to either come into this zone or this zone up here. So let's see what happens. Okay, prices push bullish. Notice prices dismissed and took out and disrespected our supply zone here. So it went to respect our extreme here. Okay, at this extreme, you can tell yourself, okay, I'm looking for sells. Obviously, you can see prices went bearish, but we do have another break of structure, although this low hasn't broken the extreme high. Therefore, you probably don't want to look for buys just yet, okay, until we have the extreme broken. And there you go. Let's continue adapting to structure. We have this low next for the buys. Okay, we have another break of structure. Let's continue adapting to the new high. Okay, there we go. We have a buy. We have a new break here. Let's look for the buy. I do see another break here though, right there. So we'll adapt to this new low here. Okay, let's see what happens. There's a break, right? We're looking for price to come down. Okay, price hasn't done so. It has broken just by a little bit by the wick, but we don't count those. All right, just keep adapting to structure. Okay, you can see there's your low, right? If price is disrespected, we know why. Okay, so that was disrespected. So if we zoom out, you can see that. Let's go even zoom out even further. Okay, you can see how we have an extreme high and extreme low here. All right, from here to here. So this is a sell for us. But at the same time now, you want to be mindful of your extreme high and your extreme low. And you want to keep be mindful of your internal structure in here. Okay, we know that we are so high in price over here. Okay, so you can see that in order to be buying correctly, right, if prices don't work out correctly here in this premium zone for buys, then we know for a fact that it's the extreme low here. This would be our discount area. And also, we're picturing that this is the 4-hour, so we look for potential buys here to see if the market goes bullish here for us. Okay, prices went bullish by a little, right? Broke the structure now. Now let's adapt to structure. We know the prices are bearish only because prices tapped an extreme high here, and we know that prices need to go bearish here to this area of demand. Okay. Also, we know that prices have broken this high here, and went so bullish that needs to come and mitigate. also because we have an area where prices need to come down to the, you know, to the discount area right here to look for a better opportunity for a better buy. If the buys are given to us, you know, if they're presented to us right here, right? So we look for a chalk here to look for buys. I know we haven't broken this high, so therefore this buy may be irrelevant to us. Price may come back down here and sort of just play around a little bit, maybe go and mitigate something, and then go bullish like, go bearish like this. Okay, but let's continue. Maybe a few more so you guys can see how to continue adapting the structure here. Okay, prices are going bearish here. You can see that there's another break, right? So we're just going to adapt to this break. All right, from this low to this high here. You can see it there. Okay, so prices are going bullish. You can see there's a low, there's a high. We're going to keep adapting. So this is the new low here. We look for buys. Okay, another break of structure. We're going to expect for a buy here. Nothing happened. Adapt to a new structure. There's your new structure there. Okay. Let's continue seeing. Okay, so you can see prices broke that low here. Prices are going bearish. Okay, so now we're going to expect for this high to be mitigated right here. Okay, prices went bullish. Oh, excuse me. Let me just show you here. This is what happened. Let me just delete this. All these markings here. We had a low, we had a high, we had a low, we had a high. Right, this is small, obviously, but this is your main low here. Prices went bullish. Okay, I'm sometimes going a little too far for myself here. Okay, here's your next demand zone. Prices broke bullish. Let's you can see a break of structure here. There's another mitigation here that price needs to come down to. Okay, this would be our next buy. If prices respected this, we also understand that we're very high in price, so prices may not perform correctly here. Right, if you go from this low to this high, we're in our premium. Right, we know why it won't work out if prices go against us, because we're in the premium. All right, prices going up. All right, there you go. So prices went up a little bit, right, mitigated the side, continued pushing bearish. Right, our expectation here as traders now is to wait for prices to go bullish here, because this is the next buy here, and you can see prices are going bearish here as well. We had made a first break of structure, right there. If we zoom out, let's see what's happening. Okay, nothing. We're still expecting for price to potentially come all the way here to this supply zone to go bearish here. But in this case, we're just going to stick to our guns and then just continue looking to see if we can take opportunities to buy around here. Okay, so clearly we're still in our low here, still a buy. Okay, price are pushing bullish. Okay, let me see on the 4 hour if prices are going to go bullish here. Okay, we just went bearish, completely bearish. All right, well, that's pretty much it, guys. It's very simple, right? You're just adapting to structure. Now, I'm not saying that, you know, everything is going to work out like this, because everything doesn't work out always, right? Nothing's 100%. Nothing's 100%, right? But what I'm trying to tell you guys is you don't need to be stuck on one structure, right, on your main structure. You can always adapt to structure, right? You can see there's a high there. We're expecting for prices to go bullish here, or at least to come and mitigate if they haven't. Prices broke a new low, so now you can wait for prices to come back here again, right there, right? Because now we have a new low, right? And from here, we should look for price to go bearish. We also do see another high there, actually, so forgive me, I didn't see that. Right, there's a high, there's a low, there's a high, there's a low. Right, prices went bearish from this low here. We have another break of structure. You can see a lot of imbalance too, so prices should go down from here. There you go. Let's keep adapting here. There's another, there's two supply zones right here and right here. So we're going to wait for one of those to be hit and targeted, right? All right, there we go. You can see actually it was targeted, I think. No, it wasn't actually, right there. All right, we're going to see what happens. All right, another break of structure below. Yeah, so anyway, guys, you guys can keep playing and keep doing this over and over and over. The process is very simple, and this is how we're always able to profit a lot of the times, because we see how prices moves, right? You can see here at this high and this low, prices did go down from here. Okay, there's a high, prices went down, hit this low, and pushed all the way bullish, right? It's very understandable. Here we can see, if I'm not mistaken, this should be our supply zone here. our major supply zone. If prices go bearish, okay, they push bullish here. Zoom out, you can see there's major structure here. Break and break. Okay, there we go. You can see prices broke above this high, so we should be looking for probably for price to go bullish here. But yeah, we're still bearish on the extreme here. All right, let's keep adapting. Right there. There's a break structure. We're looking for another break from the lows. Okay, price went bullish. Break. Price went down here, and then haven't mitigated there. Prices broke again there. All right, we're looking for this area of demand to be tapped. Okay, there we go. Prices are going bullish. Okay, we are looking for another break of structure here if it happens. There we go, right? So we would have hit TP at this high. We have a low, we have a high, we have a low here as well. So we're looking for this supply, this demand zone to be tapped. Oh, excuse me, there's a break of structure there. There's your buy again, there's another break of structure. There's your demand right there, there's your low, high. There's another buy here. We know that we're very extreme in the prices, very high, so we know that prices need to come down to go bullish as well. Okay, okay, there we go, right? Prices went bearish like this. Prices did go up. This is our extreme, you can see. Here's where price actually broke structure. Prices went up a little bit and then went bearish from here. Yeah, all right, right? So I hope you guys understand how this process works. You know, I really encourage you guys to backtest this all the time, because structure is king and it works. You know, you can make trades on any type of structure, whether it's in premium or in premium or discount, right? You can do pretty much anything with, if you just understand the theory of structure. Okay, so yeah, that's all, guys. I hope you guys understood. If this was a very helpful video, please throw a thumbs up on this video, and please definitely comment on this video, and also subscribe to our channel, because we always give out free content, guys. I love you. I'll see you guys next.